Hey YouTube, Stripe Man, how you all doing? So for those who have followed me on Instagram and YouTube over the last 2 years, I did a lawn renovation, and last June I actually had this Scott's ProVista KBG installed in June, and I had seen it like 2 years earlier at the sod farm, and I fell in love with it, and I decided that's how I'm going to replace my existing lawn. So it was installed. It started off great, and then things went downhill. So what happened was it got really hot last July and August, and the other thing is that because I reel mow and I wanted it low, I was very impatient and I brought it down too quickly. So what happened was it was starting to had a lot of stress areas. I said to myself, my God, I just ruined this whole lawn. Got help from the sod farm, got help from guys from the community with suggestions and stuff like that. So long story short, it rebounded, and last fall it looked great right up until Christmas time. But that's not what this video is about. Today's video is about what do you do when you get damage from glyphosate spraying, which I did about a month ago. So what happened was this Scott's ProVista is glyphosate tolerant, and what I did a lot of research to try to find out what the rate is. So I got the glyphosate 41%. I looked it up on the label, on the bottle, and it said to go ahead and use 2 ounces per gallon of water. And so I did. So what happened was I did not use any pre-emergent last fall because the sod was just finished established, and it was kind of early I didn't want to use any of the pre-emergent on it, nor did I use it this spring. I figured if I got weeds, it's glyphosate tolerant, I'll go ahead and I'll use it. So anyway, I sprayed. I had some crabgrass. The crabgrass, 3 or 4 days, it had already started shriveling up. Had like one little spot of clover, and I've had dandelions. So I'm thinking, great, this stuff works great. Well, what happened was it looked great. I didn't see any damage to the lawn. I'm thinking, okay, good, we're set. Well, as days went by, then I noticed, wait a second, I'm getting some yellow spots. I thought maybe it was fungus, but there was no lesions on the blades of grass. I had put down some fungicide, and so it wasn't that. I wasn't even watering much, had just enough rain, and the lawn was doing great. So here are the options now that I'm going to show you what the lawn looks like now from the damaged area and what the options are. You could either seed those areas, you could plug those areas, or you can resod those areas. Well, seeding for this can be done, but as you guys know, with regular Kentucky bluegrass, it takes forever to germinate. And this Scott's ProVista, which is a slow-growing grass to begin with, takes even longer. So what happens is the vertical growth on this, I found it to be very similar to regular Kentucky bluegrass, and they were saying it's a slow grower. I don't know. I've watered, I've mowed frequently, and it grows pretty fast. But laterally, it doesn't fill in spots. It takes a lot longer. I mean, the good thing about Kentucky bluegrass is it will fill in the spots over time, but the other issue is it takes a long time. So because I reel mow, and it took almost all of last summer to get it down to the height that I wanted to, I figured I can cut out those areas and resod it. Problem is, with the sod, it comes in a lot longer than 5/8 of an inch. So the process of cutting out even little 12 by 12 foot squares and putting in sod and letting it establish and all that for these spots wasn't going to work. It would be high spots and low spots. It would just be a disaster. I could seed those areas, but seed takes 21 to 30 days to germinate. And it's also very expensive, and it's also hard to get. A little bit easier this year to get it. Last year it was very hard to get. I bought a 5-pound bag from the sod farm, of Kentucky, of this Scott's ProVista KBG, and it was $175 for a 5-pound bag. So you can see that it's very expensive. Their solder, on the other hand, it was only like $7 and change, like $7.60 for 10 square feet. So normally these rolls of sod come in 2 feet by 5 foot, which is 10 square feet, and it was 7 and change. So that was an option also. But like I said, if I was to fix those areas with that, I would have to go through the whole process of training it to go low, which takes a time. So now plugging, even buying new sod and plugging it would be an option, but then all these spots, which I'm going to show you in a little bit, would also have the same problem. It would be taller there. I couldn't just chop it down. It wouldn't take. So I came up with a solution. And the solution is that area there. So I do have a Pro plugger, and my game plan is to take all plugs out of that area. That's about 80 square feet total. Sod goes for, like I said, last year was 7 something. It's probably maybe 8 something now. So for probably $90, that 80 square feet, I can cut up that whole area and just replace the sod there, which is easy enough to do. I actually installed the sod myself in my lawn back in 2008, so it's something I could do. I didn't do this whole lawn because that was just too much work for me. But if I take that area and pull all the plugs out that I need, lawn, and all these spots here, and those spots like that are throughout the lawn, see here and there, what I could do was plug those areas with the shortcut lawn. They would fill in on their own faster than seed would, and just resod that area. So that's the game plan. So we'll see what happens. I will show you that process when I actually do it, but I wanted to show you this is the game plan, and this is what I plan on doing to fix these problems. So next time, guys, take care. Credit goes to Super TA 329 for suggesting using to plug those areas. I was thinking of just plugging with the new sod, but it didn't make any sense because of the difference in heights. But I did find the area to use to take the plugs from. So credit goes to Bill for suggesting that, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. You can follow him on Instagram and YouTube also. Thanks, Bill.